All right, so back with the 66 LT4 Volkswagen. This episode, we're going to show you how we bent up and did all the math for the roll bars, what we did to make the wheel tubs from scratch, got the shifter installed to get rid of the divorce shifter that would have came factory on the TR6060. Also got the heads CNC ported back from K-Tech, which is almost the last piece we need before we can remove the engine and start rebuilding this in the next episode.
Suicide, except the doors.
I was able to build the frame table, big 8-inch channel that I had left over from the project.
I don't even know what the weakest link is now. Everything's only 6 inches long.
We've got everything clearance for the supercharger. It's not a ton, but there's just enough. Trying to figure out the best way that we can still remove the body while leaving this roll cage in place. I got the wheel well all mocked up. We got the seat with the shifter now kind of where we need it. Stainless steel from Lyle's. Extend the collector where we need to. So cage is in, it's just tacked in place. We'll get Niagara Welding back again to fully weld everything once everything else is mocked up. It's fit, ready to go, and onto the wheel wells. Last couple bars to put in for the roll cage are gonna be kind of up and through here. I'm trying to figure out the best way that we can still remove the body while leaving this roll cage in place. This seems to be what's gonna work. We're gonna end up closing this guy off the firewall from the underside of the cowl, which is pretty close to the top of the supercharger when it's installed. And this will still be able to separate along the firewall while leaving the roll cage in place. Got the wheel well all mocked up. Everything's just held together with Cleco fasteners. It's spring-loaded retainers. Now that they've been fit and mocked up, the next thing to do will be to take this apart and weld this together solid, making it one solid unit. Still got these just kind of fastened with the Cleco pins until we get everything finalized size-wise. We got our new Willwood brakes to install coming up, and our proper size Mickey Thompson ET Streets now. So we got all of our fitment sorted out and ready to go, and these will be the permanent tires that we're going to run on. So right now, we got about, get my fingers back there, we probably got about 5/8 of an inch of clearance. Once the disc brakes go on, everything's going to kind of push out a little bit closer, bringing that out. So we get this full meat in there with plenty of clearance without worrying about any rubbing like the 55. Whoa.
Shots fired.
So that's what I kind of need to clear is up in here.
Yeah.
We have the seat just kind of sitting here on a couple pieces of angle iron, nearly mocked up to where it's got to be. It might mess with the angle a little bit on here. So with the TR6060 coming out of the ZL1 Camaro, it came factory equipped with this divorce shifter that attached to the floor. You've seen in the older videos. We're able to remove that, pick up this relocated shifter base from Core Shifters. Very economical, well-built piece, handmade by a gentleman. With the shifter now kind of where we need it. We got the seat very close to where we need it. We may end up changing the pitch on it a little bit to make it a little more comfortable for some longer drives. Plenty of space in here for the steering and pedals. Can't quite finish the floor pans yet until we finish routing the exhaust. So we got an existing exhaust for headers from a 2019 Silverado that we're going to rework to work with this setup. I'll show you that in a moment. And the floors will kind of have to work around that, as well as the firewall. That will allow us to finish off all the sheet metal work inside, mount the steering wheel, and then get us into rebuilding the engine. So set the heads out to K-Tech to get the holes drilled for the supercharger, which are these guys you can kind of see up along here. They CNC drove, locate those. Test fit the supercharger, fits perfect. Every bolt goes in, just turning it by hand. Figured while they had it on the CNC jig, we might as well have them do a quick port job on things as well using their CNC porting program, which is supposed to pick up about 40 CFM at 650 inch lift, so 650 lift. So now that everything's fit and mocked up, once we kind of close off this little bit of the firewall, make sure the supercharger fits with all our sheet metal work, engine's ready to come out, complete rebuild. We'll take these guys apart, do a little bit of hand blending in the bowls, completely reassemble the head, rebuild the entire short block. We've got new pistons, rods, crankshaft to go in there, all original GM parts from the LT4, as well as a little bit of a little bumpier camshaft. Let's see what we can do making some power for this. I don't want to say numbers, but it's going to be a lot more than stock. All this engine rebuilding, of course, is happening here. We're in the same building as Northbound Machine with Scott next door. So Scott will be making sure that everything that happens to this has his fingerprints on it. Everything, you know, as per spec and built right the first time. We're able to score these headers pretty cheap on a Memorial Day sale off of Speedway Motors for 2019 Silverado. Kind of nice, the collector's reduced down to only 2 inch, which is way too small for us, but we can take that back to the 3 inch and extend the collector. It's kind of what we started on this guy over here. So we have this cleaned up. Bought some stainless steel from Lyle's, free shipping, which was excellent. So we'll put these guys on, extend the collector where we need to, and switch it over from a 3-bolt flange to a V-band, which is going to save us a ton of space up underneath here. So the only thing that we got with these, the drop height on them works out great. We can't quite make it to the block the way that it is. So we're going to cut these guys off, the primaries across here, extend this over. It's still going to give us plenty of turn radius with the tire without contacting it, but we're able to pick that up and set it kind of right where we need it to be. This setup came with a set of single piston GM metric calipers. That was the cross member assembly, came as a complete kit. However, kind of wanted a little bit more stopping power than what was on here. Picked up a set of Willwood for all 4 corners from RTA Garage. The only caveat to that is it won't even clear this rotor setup. So I have to take out these spindles that came with the kit and put in the original Pinto spindles. That'll allow me to use the Willwood hubs. Disc brake assembly. Hopefully by moving these wheels in 2 inches, we're going to avoid rubbing the front tires, also like the 55.
All right, so we thought we'd give you guys a full update on the project. None of them are abandoned, but we do all have busy lives too. So
Full-time jobs.
Full-time jobs that get in the way. So amazing progress, and like you said, just like even if I don't feel like going, go out for an hour or 2 a night, because how many hours have you worked on it since the last video?
Not as many as I'd like to.
But still hundreds.
Yo, yeah, easily hundreds.
Yeah,
Just
a little bit here
it's
and there.
really easy to peel like a 7-8 hour night in
Right.
here on a weekend.
The progress is insane. You guys have no idea how many times you put something together and take it apart again just to make sure that everything fits. But the work is awesome, man. It's super impressive. I'm not a part of this build just because, and I offered to help a bunch of times, but I know that you're like me, where it's like, no, I need to like stop and think.
Yeah.
And I just need to like do my own little thing.
A lot of my nights here start at 8 o'clock at night and go until 4 o'clock or,
Yeah.
2, 4 o'clock in the morning, and make time when they can.
Yeah. So I'm excited about what's next. Like it looks awesome, and it looks totally crazy just seeing it sit here and like how far it's come. But like, so it looks like a drag car, but you're still mainly wanting to street it, right?
Yeah, it's a like pro street car.
Okay.
It's what it's going for, with kind of a sleeper vibe. I know a lot of people say there's no way it's a sleeper, but it's going to kind of have this rustic look to it. The only giveaway is going to be the sound, and if you can get your head down far enough to see how wide the tires are, you'll know what's up.
Nice. So there's that. Scott, unfortunately, is so busy. I'd show you his shop, but we haven't walked through there for 6 weeks, and he's got dozens and dozens and dozens of engines. So unfortunately, the Mustang's still up on the hoist. It's all sanded down. He's actually color matching the firewall to the rest of the car and grabbing the pieces for the V10. I know he's getting frustrated because he doesn't see any time that he can work on it, but we're both going to keep pushing him to build the V10 regardless. We got some cams for it.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming up, and then we'll have another video on this after the engine's all kind of put together and exhausted, some floor pans, and by then it'll start looking like a car. You missed the deadline for spring though.
Oh yeah, I didn't say what year, right? Yeah. A spring.
Soft deadline.
But it'll definitely be great when we get to that point, and then that gives us the opportunity to rip it all apart, paint it, put it all back together again.
Yeah. Awesome. So hopefully you guys got some motivation out of this video. I know I did. Suck it up, go to work, and work on your projects and get them done, because this is freaking awesome, man. Unreal.
Thanks, man.
Nice work.